Have you ever had it where someone worse than you just plays better than you and you can't say why, and you're like, how's this person performing better than me when in training or when we just play together? I know I'm better than them. And sometimes you even see that person go on and get bigger opportunities and you're thinking, what? Like, how am I not getting it? I see this happen to players. I see players even that I work with where some of the top players, I go, they may be not getting as much opportunity as some others. They may think, why? Right? I know the reason. So today I'll give you the key reason that most people suffer with to where someone worse than them can actually go higher and better. So there's a thought in football that if you try to achieve everything, you'll actually achieve nothing. So if you want to do everything and showcase the full range of your ability and you want to show everything that you can do in one match, you're likely going to get stuck at a point where you're lacking decision making. You're not quite keeping the game as simple as it should be. You're struggling with clarity of what you're actually trying to do. So I know myself as a player, I'm not good at shooting. In training, I'm okay. I can shoot, but I'm not good at shooting. I don't score goals. I know that 1v1, if you put me in top baller, finished. It's not going to happen, right? I'm not great 1v1. I'm not maybe great in the air. I'm not the strongest profile, right? I know where my weakness is. And I can be so focused at improving those things. But then actually, I know what I'm good at passing. I'm good at turning away from players, keeping the ball, right? Good at passing through the lines, creative maybe with the passes that I would see. So I understand that there's certain things that I'm really good at, certain skill moves that I'm really good at, the skill moves that I can do if you put me in ball combination or I'm teaching it, I'm coaching it, but there's skill moves that if you put me in a game, it wouldn't be my first thought, my first instinct to do it. It probably wouldn't work. So all in all, let's say I have 3 skill moves. So for me, I like an L turn, very, very good at that. Use the push to stop and start to push the ball on. A De Jong turn, right? So let's say there are 3 turns that I really like. I've done those turns 10,000 times as an example, right? I may have done, let's say, a step over only 1,000 times because I don't really use it, right? So maybe even 100 times in a game that I've used the step over. So what that means is if you put me in a situation where I've got to do a De Jong turn, I know the angle I need, I know the distance I need because that comes to my head. I've done it so many times that maybe I understand where it will work, where it won't work. I have a good instinct to use it. But if I do a step over, no one's believing it. No one's falling for it. And I'm thinking, why? Like, I know how to do it, but it doesn't work for me. Maybe I used the wrong situation, the wrong distance. It's not believable because I don't really believe it, right? So there's such art in keeping things more simple in terms of knowing what you're good at, what you like to do. What do you enjoy in the game? What do you think this is the things that I'm good at? And that can be a short list, guys. So let's go to some players and let's name some examples of players with clarity. Jeremy Doku, if we were to go through what's Jeremy Doku good at? Let's name a few things. Let's go 1, he's explosive. 2, he's great 1v1. Let's say 3, he's very direct. Let's say those 3 things, yeah? Is he the best passer? He's okay at opening a pass up. I wouldn't call him a really good passer. I wouldn't call him a really good finisher or long shooter, as much as he does it from time to time. What skill moves does Doku use? He has his little hop feint. There's 1. He probably uses a step over quite a lot. There's 2. And he tends to drag the ball onto the inside of his foot before turning. There's 3. So Doku isn't going to use every single move in the world. Doku knows what he's good at. So Doku says, okay, I'm going to use this. With a hop feint, I'll beat any defender in the world. That's his opinion. That's what he likes to do. Let's go through Mbappe. Mbappe is really fast. Mbappe is, again, great 1v1, but he's an amazing shooter of the ball. Right? Mbappe, how many finishing techniques does Mbappe have? Okay, he uses lots of different ones, but his main one, everyone sees. Reverse finish, but with this same technique, even if he goes far post, inside of the foot. Thierry Henry went through that and said, I can't do an Mbappe finish.
But I'll explain. You need to believe in what you do and trust it. That was my thing.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. How are you going to get this? Now it's coming back in. So I worked a lot to be able to master that. Kylian believes and loves that. That's his thing.
Well, you never worried, though, if you've got a finish that's known as the Thierry Henry finish, and it's still known as that now, surely goalkeepers are going into that game thinking, okay, if Thierry Henry's in this position, I'm almost going to read it. I
go further. I enjoyed it. You know, and you can't do anything about it. Then I'm going to look at you, and you know I'm going to shoot. I can tell you, you can't save it.
So, Thierry Henry's the best striker to play in the Premier League, and he says he can't do that finish. Put him on the training pitch, he'll do it, no problem. But can he do it to the level of Mbappe, seeing when the goalkeeper steps out to go back near post? No chance, right? And that's what he means by that. I'm not a master at that finish. Mbappe's mastered one finish. Skill moves, he loves the step over. He uses it all the time, right? So Mbappe always uses a step over. It's his favourite skill move to do. And we're talking about the top level guys here. And we're even talking about attackers. So if you take me to, let's say, Pedri. Pedri uses the same moves to retain the ball. He has the same style of play. Does he like to run for the box like Jude Bellingham, for example? No. They're not the same profile. But does he maybe go up like Bruno Fernandes? Does he play this direct? No. Because it's not his instinct. Bruno Fernandes knows I'm very good at playing forward. I want to play forward. Pedri might know I'm better to keep the ball and I'm better to retain possession, play each way. So you can try so hard to show that you can do the same skills as Mbappe. You can be as explosive as Doku. I can turn and roll pressure like Pedri or Frankie de Jong. I can go in the box and score like Jude Bellingham. You can say all of these things, but overall, can you master them to that level? Probably not. So it brings me to one key point. And it's similar to what Paul Merson recently said about his son. He said, my son can't take 3 players on like some of the other players in the Chelsea academy, but he has eyes for a pass. When Lionel Messi recently spoke about his boys, he said each of them have different traits that they're very good at and the way they play the game. So there's an understanding at the top level that you can't be good at everything. You know what you're good at. That's what I can bring to the team. That's what I can bring to the party. Right? So every player has a different super strength and a different value. And I'll tell you from a scout that we look at the super strength more than anything. What can that player bring into the team? Because we have an academy team of, let's say under 9s, you might bring through 10 players, 12 players, up to 20 players, right? And each of those players is going to have a profile, but a strength that they bring. This player's amazing 1-versus-1. This player's an amazing ball striker. This player's really brave and battles for the ball. This player's really agile and is able to turn out of pressure. Each player has their strength. And then over time in that program, you work on other aspects and also allowing them to master what they're doing. So if we bring in a player at under 16, that under 16, yes, needs a more rounded game to compete. But all in all, it's going to be what can that player bring into the team? And that goes to first team level. When you bring in players in the Premier League, you want to think, what are they going to bring to the team? You're not first thinking, okay, well, they need to adapt to what we're doing. You're thinking, what are they bringing with them? What does that player have? So you can get so much out of just knowing what you can do. And we're going to give one simple method to use that, okay? A method that I think you can use is simply sit with yourself and tell yourself 3 skills that you're very good at. Tell yourself the 3 things that you'll bring into any team consistently, right? And then tell yourself, without all of that, so without those 3 things and those 3 moves that you'll use, what are the things that just as a person you can guarantee every single day? So you can't guarantee goals every single day, okay? as much as you might think. No. So what can you guarantee every day? That might be your intensity, your dedication, but also expressing that. So I express that I have intensity, I'm good around the group, I'm fun, I have a laugh with people. Maybe it's you can guarantee you'll always battle for the ball, you'll always take players on, even if you're getting tackled. Those 3 questions will give you a really good start to telling yourself what you can bring to the party. So every time you go into a training, you can maybe remind yourself of what you're great at. That's where you start. Start with what you're good at. And then we can start to work on the other aspects, maybe of the game. But if you look at the top level players, they're using the same moves constantly over time. They become better at those moves, and that allows them then to have success higher levels they go. So I hope that's really helpful, because it's something that maybe I see most players struggle on. They might not understand that. They haven't done that work with themselves, but they're coming to express what they can do rather than what they do all the time. I hope that's helpful. Let me know how that goes for you. And if this helps, what you want to see next, just tell me in the comments, and I'll see you soon.